The Red Room Theater, episode 125, Goodfellas.
I know I'd go from rags to riches if you would only say you care.
Welcome to the Red Room Theater, where we watch movies, we love movies, we're raised by movies. We're your hosts, Ernesto Alanese.
And Antonio Marino.
And every month we look at one of the movies that raised us up. Why that movie raised us right and raised us wrong. Today we talk about the movie Goodfellas and how it taught us how to not to be a rat and to really to affectionately embrace violence. So, shall we start?
Yes.
Brother, happy birthday. This is Big Red.
This is the best soda.
This is not Faygo Red Pop.
It's the best pop.
I like Faygo Red Pop.
I love Rock and Rye.
But this is something different than all of them.
Yeah, it is.
This is from deep in the heart of Texas. Dude, come on. That's right. There's no basement in the Alamo. Okay.
This is Inez.
Okay. That is your no prize for the month. There's no basement in the Alamo. What movie is it? First one to stick and say it is on the stick and...
Remember when I realized what a no prize was?
It was like 3 episodes ago, dude. So for my brother's birthday, we got us some Big Red shipped in from Texas.
Man.
And so we are going to, let's do this. I can't.
It's because you bite your
Can
nails.
you go open mine for me? So happy 40th birthday, bro.
Thank you. See, if it would have been a different podcast, I'd be drinking a 40 for my 40th. But Big Red's good.
Oh, man, Mr. Doctor, or what is it, Edward 40 Hands.
I just pissed myself. Man, that's the most delicious thing I've ever had.
It's hard to, it's a red cream soda.
Yeah.
If you,
It's so good that when you leave a little bit on the rim, you're super excited to slurp it up.
So, when I talk about movies that raised me wrong, the example I always use is Goodfellas.
Yeah,
This movie got in real early.
Yes, it did.
I don't know why this was a movie that was a part of our lives. I can't remember a time when I didn't know this movie. And this movie is not for children.
No.
This movie, and I did get I missed the point of the movie. It's almost like Wolf of Wall Street nowadays.
Well, yeah, it makes you want to be a broker.
It's supposed to be this
It's like 16 and pregnant. Don't get pregnant when you're 16 because you'll ruin your life. Or get pregnant so you can be on the show.
and be famous.
Jeez.
And leverage it into stinking celebrity. Like this movie, I was like, these guys are the awesomest, and I want to be like them. And that was not the point of the. But the thing is, though, I think the first hour is stronger than the second hour. That first hour is so. It's so watchable.
Yeah.
And so this movie dropped September 19th, 1990. Okay?
Okay.
Has a 96% Rotten Tomatoes. This
As
movie,
it should.
It's beloved. It's directed by the one and only Martin Scorsese. Scorsese, one of the best American directors we've had. Mm-hmm. His movies are never gigantic in the box office, but they always get an audience. And he's had two halves of his career.
Did he do Taxi Driver?
Yes.
He's in Taxi Driver.
That's correct.
He's in the cab. That is an uncomfortable scene.
The whole movie's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, the first half of Scorsese's career is his De Niro career. De Niro films. And then he moves to
Wolf of Wall Street, didn't he?
Yes. Then he moves to DiCaprio. And him and DiCaprio, they've done like 5 movies so far. Mm-hmm. So he has these 2 different epochs of movies. And they've both been incredible. What are some of Scorsese's big hits? Okay, so we begin with Taxi Driver. It has the famous De Niro line, "Talking to me?
You're talking to me.
You talking to me? I don't see anyone's around here. You talking to me?" It's a line every tough guy's done in the mirror since that film.
Getting ready for if you got, you want to be a badass.
Yeah, you're getting ready to be tough.
Pumping yourself up.
Then he's got Raging Bull.
That's another uncomfortable movie, dude.
What the last?
There's some stuff in that movie that I do not like.
Listen, we'll talk about that film someday. We'll do it on this podcast. So that film was one that I watched,
Oof,
and there's lines in that changed the way I think about. I'm like,
now, okay. We are very critical of Robert De Niro's crying abilities, but on that scene in Raging Bull when he throws the fight,
yes,
that is a heartbreaking scene when he's just crying in the locker room because he knew what he did.
We'll get to all this.
That was
Scorsese has Raging Bull. He has a lot of De Niro films. Cape Fear. I mean,
that's Scorsese?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
That movie is nuts, dude.
And then he moves to DiCaprio when he does Aviator, Gangs of New York, The Departed, Shutter Island, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Shutter Island?
Yes. Scorsese he's
a gangster, dude.
He's a great filmmaker. A great filmmaker.
But I don't like what he said about Marvel movies.
I hate what he said about Marvel movies.
Dude, you can't deny Marvel movies are amazing.
He's just sad that it's more so now than ever is that with so many streaming options, the big studios for a theater film, they want guaranteed money, and the only guaranteed money are movies that everyone already knows. So it's Marvel, it's Ghostbusters, it's movies that people know from their childhood. It's superheroes, and so he said that you don't have these like sneakers that come out, like the Shawshank Redemptions and the Pulp Fictions coming out of nowhere and ruling the movie theaters.
Did you see the clip from Graham Norton when Morgan Freeman's on and they were talking to him about how Shawshank became this like cultural icon, but when it came out, it didn't do great.
Right.
And
you nasty.
It's your fault, dude. The Big Red. So they were asking him why he thought the movie didn't do great, and he goes, he goes, you know what? The problem is somebody would come out of that movie and they'd say, "Man, I've seen this amazing movie." Well, yeah, what was it called? And they'd like. And then he said he had somebody come up to him and say, "Man, you were so good in the Hudsucker Reduction."
It is a tough name.
It's like Shawshank Redemption.
Like the original title of the Stephen King novel is called Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. That was a poster.
Is that the poster that he throws the?
Yeah. But so Scorsese's director, he's been making movies. You know what people say? And it's an unfair comparison, but they say you have two directors. You have the Scorsese versus Spielberg. And Spielberg has been the Hollywood big budget blockbuster. And Scorsese has always been the underground R-rated like director archer.
But he's fantastic.
I'm saying I'm not an either or guy. I like both guys.
That's like saying you're a Beatles guy or you're an Elvis guy.
That's a real thing though.
Which is weird because I lean more Elvis, but
I lean more Beatles.
But I'm a musician, so you'd think I'd be. I don't think I know enough Beatles.
But Elvis is a performer, and he's a great performer.
And he got taught his famous move by Forrest Gump,
and that makes him even more lovable.
Show me that thing you doing with your hips again.
Oh, dude, you want to get unholy?
The best Elvis has ever been.
It's Val Kilmer.
Was Val Kilmer.
Best Elvis ever.
Wow.
Never fully on the camera. Anyways, we're all over the place.
Cops throw a party, man.
Okay, so
not like you, Clarence.
Okay.
We've done True Romance, right?
No, we haven't done True Romance yet. The plot of this film. This is a story about a real gangster named Henry Hill, and it's a story of how he becomes a gangster, lives the gangster, and lives a gangster life. We mean gangster like mafia, mobster. Yeah, becomes a mobster, loves the life, lives the life, and then loses it all because that's what the life leads to. Because no mobster survives a life, and you see this movie, no one makes it out alive. Nobody. You're going to be dead, in prison, or a rat.
They're killing their best friends,
dude. I mean,
so they don't have to pay them.
It's unreal.
Like family, pretty much.
Dude, there are guys like, dude, this dude was your homie. and they had to thaw him out for 3 days.
That poor guy's hair. What is that hair?
Listen, okay. Okay, does the movie hold up?
It's amazing.
Unbelievably
I just
so.
watched it last week and it was incredible.
Movies from the 90s before, because if they're not trying to do effects, they hold up unreal. Because digital effects age so bad so quickly.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, even the Matrix Reloaded, Part 2 of Matrix, that movie, the big scene where he fights all the Agent Smiths, it looked old a year later.
Yeah.
But Star Wars original,
Look at Independence Day.
it's bad.
That movie's great, and you're just like,
I'm back.
it looks like Mavis Beacon made this movie.
So the cast. Let's walk through this cast. You have Ray Liotta. Now I know Ray Liotta for a season. He tried to be a comedic actor. He was in like Operation Dumbo Drop, and
He was good in Heartbreakers.
I never saw Heartbreakers.
Yeah, you can't watch
I
it.
can't watch.
No, you can't.
He was in Karina.
Karina. Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah, and that little girl that was with the seal at one time.
I know what you're talking about.
That girl actress.
Yeah, shit. I know exactly what you're talking
The fact
about.
that you're with me is unreal.
Let's start with a D. What's the seal's name?
I don't remember the seal's
Okay,
name.
I know what you're talking about. That's the worst description of a movie. I'm like,
You were right with me, dude. She was Matilda. The same person,
Yeah,
Matilda.
yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Henry. So Liotta movies I know of him are when he's an absolute insane person.
Mm-hmm.
This film, Unlawful Entry,
Unlawful Entry. He was horrible.
maybe one of the best stalkers ever on film. Like because you just see that he can't let it go, and you watch. Oh, what a movie!
He was actually great in the Hubie Halloween movie.
His role in Narc.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
So Liotta's had some good movies.
Narc was great.
Liotta in this film is the main character, but De Niro and Pesci are so strong. They almost steal the movie. I think they have higher billing.
They do steal the
I
movie.
think they have higher billing on the VHS. Like, because he's the main character, De Niro and Pesci, Joe Pesci.
I know.
I mean, My Cousin Vinny, Home Alone, the
First
Super.
of all, my cousin Vinny is so funny, and he's like a good fellow lawyer.
He's hilarious. He's
Marissa Tomei steals that movie. Like,
she's
holy
fantastic.
Crap. Me in the shower.
You cracked the case. If I couldn't feel worse about myself.
Dude,
in her face the whole time, dude. He's giving it to her.
oh man.
But he's the Super is so funny too.
Super's great. They did the basketball game.
Oh, dude, he probably got it. There's money in there, don't you? He's like, you see it? He was just what you rich guys do. It's the Super's great, and then Home Alone, like
So good.
Harry is hilarious,
Yeah.
and he has this weird line he walks between funny but kind of menacing. He tries to like bite Kevin's fingers off one at a time. Like I'm like, this guy's a killer. Like
Yeah.
it plays
They're
a
the Wet
flash.
Bandits, bro.
Like Marv's an idiot, but Harry.
Okay, were they the Sticky Bandits?
Part 2.
Okay, they changed.
Yeah, Part 2.
Wet Bandits because they
Like which
leave their calling
which
card.
is meaner than robbing.
That's horrible.
Like,
you're
robbing's-
gonna wreck their whole house now.
Robbing them is like you're a thief, you're a jerk. But doing the water thing,
That's horrible.
I'd forgive you for robbing my stuff.
Yes.
I'd kill you for flooding my house. I just watched Goodfellas. I'm sorry. Some guy's gonna flood my house and I'm dead. And the police are like, we have evidence. Episode 125 from the Goodfellas podcast.
We found an empty can of Big Red by his dead body.
Evidence A.
All his fingers were gone.
But so Pesci, his comedic acting.
He's got chops, dude.
and then he's got Lethal Weapon, where comedy for days.
How about the scene in the graveyard, bro? When he talks about Froggy, where did that come from?
And dude, Gibson feels so bad. He realizes
he's like, we're horrible to you. Wow, that scene came out of nowhere. I forgot he's part of the Lethal Weapon family.
Dude, but then you have this film.
Yeah.
You have Pesci as the gangster, and
He's psychotic.
and what's crazy, when I first saw this film, I knew that, but I still laughed. It's not supposed to be funny. This film's not supposed to be funny. It's
Not.
There's nothing humorous about this movie.
And
I laugh all the time.
He breaks a bottle over the restaurant manager's head because he wants to get paid. And everybody laughs. And we're laughing. Man, that movie. And
When
the
he
whole
shoots Spider
thing,
in the
dude.
toe, I'm laughing. And I shouldn't be laughing.
And then he's like, all the bones shattered. Don't get me upset, Spider. You're like, you shot him.
Like
He's
he's
crazy.
gaslighting him something fierce. Like
Yeah.
like it's like don't ruin my evening. I shot you, it's a mistake. Let's move on.
Yeah. Don't get me upset.
When Pesci kills Spider,
That's horrible.
if you're the one scene in the movie, I'm like, I don't like this guy because Spider didn't deserve to die.
De Niro was egging him on. You gonna let this kid talk to you like that? What's the world coming to? Of course he's gonna do something stupid, you idiot. But then did you see how De Niro's like, you're
a maniac.
You're a maniac. Dude, I think I never dug a hole before.
He's like,
Holy
what are
cow.
you what are you, a maniac? Like he's Joe Pesci's character. He's wild. He is unreal. He's a feral dog just walking around, and his scene of all scenes may be the shine box. It's a line I still use for when someone burns you and you want to so you can leave. You want to go get your shine box is an insult that makes you small and puts you down in the dirt.
Nobody in that movie talked to him like that. He was like, I don't care who you are, who you think you are.
Dude, so Joe Pesci plays Tommy, and Tommy comes into the bar, and there's this gangster just got out of prison, and he's thinking, this gangster, he's like, sees Tommy, goes, oh, get over here. And Tommy doesn't want to go,
No, he doesn't.
but he
like
has to because the guy's a made guy. So he comes over, gives him a hug. Hey, good to see you. He's like, oh, man, Tommy, good to see you. He's like, man, back in the day, Tommy, we used to call him,
Well, he said that he was breaking his balls. He goes, if I wanted to break your balls, I'd tell you to go get your shine box. And you're like, and you could see his face, like,
he's like, oh, yeah, you used to shine shoes when he was a kid.
make him look like mirrors.
He's like, the best there was. Make good money doing that, didn't you? He's like, maybe no one told you, but I don't do that no more. Dude, and you tell he's furious.
He knows the guy is above him, and you watching him fight himself. And he knows if you do something to a guy of that stature, you're dead. Because that guy's protected.
Yes, he is.
That was
Can't touch
the
him.
whole movie is Joe Pesci trying to get made. Because if he gets made,
His boys are made.
his boys are made. Yep.
And the guy is like, oh, no, man, don't offend, just we're just talking, man. He's like, oh, yeah. And they're all like, and then he just says,
He's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry too.
now go home and get your shine box.
Mother.
Rat!
Yeah.
Dude. And, dude,
The best is keep him here.
Pesci loses his mind. And you hear the gangster.
Even De Niro's sticking up for.
The gangster, though, you hear him off camera say,
I used to F guys like that in prison.
I used to F guys like that in prison. And I'm like, of all the insults, like,
It's a pretty big insult.
I don't know if I'd reveal that card. Like,
I'm sure he didn't really F guys like that in prison. That's just like a. I am so much more of a man than you. I will
Okay.
F you.
it's like eating piece of crap for breakfast. It's like,
No.
you piece of crap for breakfast? Dude, it's like an insult. It's like a I'm like,
If you're crazy enough to say that, though, I'm not pushing it.
oh, really?
Like-
I'm sorry. But Pesci, you see, he's an animal. He just when when they're digging up the dead body after 6 months in the ground.
They're just throwing up.
And they're laughing
I
at him.
think it's funny.
They're making fun of him, dude. They're like, hey, when I come back to my grandma's or my mom, she's making this and this. She's like, they
think it's hilarious.
And they're just looking.
Hey, here goes a finger. Here goes an arm.
They're killers. So Pesci's the killer and Jimmy's the thief. They said in the movie he loves stealing. Like, he just enjoys stealing from people. He just loves it. And he always pays off the truck driver. He's paying off everybody.
Yeah, he does it for fun.
He just really enjoys stealing crap. And they have some good. They have, like, here's the deal. This is there's two made heists in this movie: the Lufthansa heist and the Air France heist. Go to Google them both up, and they're both there.
They're huge. Lufthansa, they never found the money from that.
No,
Henry Hill talks about that when he comes on Stern. When he used to come on
I
Stern.
love the. He's like, "What security?" He goes, "Security."
I am security.
I'm security. Call me the commandant. I'm the commandant. Dude, he's so funny. He ends up dead too. That guy. Mm-hmm. Steakin. So Pesci he's an animal. He is, when you think about someone who is completely out of control, you think of Goodfellas, Tommy. Is it Tommy? What's his name? Tommy DeVito. We always call him Tommy. Tommy in this film.
Tommy DeVito.
You don't ever hear his last name, but that's what it is.
Oh.
Credited. In this film, Joe Pesci's character, that's what you think of when you think of
Crazy.
an animal, a crazy person. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to be that person. You don't want them in your life because they're going to get you in trouble.
You are going to be anxious all night, waiting for something to go down. I had friends like that.
And he's so crazy. Henry Hill's his boy in the famous scene. Oh, you're a funny guy. Like that's a famous scene in film history.
That is the most uncomfortable scene.
And Henry Hill realizes, this guy, we're friends, but he's going to turn on me right now.
Yeah.
It's like owning a rescue pit bull I used to fight, and one day it looks at you and you're like, oh, he's going to kill me. Like, this pit bull, it's something triggered its memory. He's going to tear my throat out and eat me. And you see, he's really scared. He's like,
he even is like, what?
He's trying to de-escalate it,
yeah.
And Tommy will not let it go.
I love how even the guys with him are like, Tommy, you got it all wrong. He's a grown man. He's a big boy. He can speak for himself. I'm like, what?
It's a scene. I had.
The thing is, too, Joe Pesci has the whole place laughing so hard,
telling stories. The story he tells is pretty funny. Like,
did you notice that later on in the movie he's doing the same thing? But now you can tell that everybody's kind of like just laughing. Like the first time was genuine laughter. Now it's to a point where Tommy's so crazy, everybody just appeases him.
Wow,
nobody likes being around him. The first time, everybody's like laughing their ass off because it's funny. And is it just me or I hate those collars? Super close.
It's the fashion.
The ties underneath it. It's like a momster thing.
Yeah,
it's goofy.
Yeah, listen, I don't look that good. I can't wear that. I can pull that off. Dude, I love the nicknames.
When he's getting made, when he thinks he's getting made, that suit he had almost badass. But I hate that collar.
Yo. Hate the collar. So, now we get to Jimmy Conway, played by Robert De Niro. And we have a thing here at the Red Rum Theater we do called the Greatness Test.
It's been a while.
We ask, is this actor or actress a great actor or actress? And our test is very simple. If you watch a show, if you listen or watch, you know that we consider an actor great if they have 3 films that we watched by our children's children. We are going to do, De Niro's so big and so bad, we're going to do a double greatness. We're going to give him a double stamp. We're going to double stamp, a triple stamp is what we're going to do.
So this is the time where Dennis Quaid has to turn off his subscription to Red Room.
This is to see where De Niro is going to lap Dennis Quaid.
He's so good. We got a times 2 for this guy.
So I'll start us off. I'm going to one of my favorite De Niro films of all time. Later, even though his early stuff is so great with Scorsese, his film Heat with Michael Mann.
There's scenes with no music that are the bullets are beautiful.
Dude, De Niro, the way he looks, the gray in his hair.
He looks amazing.
He made it look better.
When him and Pacino were at the table together.
Oh, my gosh.
You can cut the tension with a knife, dude. It's
And
crazy.
they're both capable, competent, confident men. And they're like, I'm going to win this fight.
Yep.
Like, I'm not afraid of you. I know who you are. I know you have to get me. And I'm not. This is what I do. This is who I am. Let's do this thing. That scene is one of the greatest scenes of all time. Those two sitting down together, just that level.
Staring each other down. Oh, that's a great movie. Val Kilmer was actually really good in that one.
Oh, he's great in that. Even Charlize Theron is great in that. Dude, Pacino, some of his lines, dude. He has some lines.
Who was the guy that is having the affair?
He's the guy from
Simpsons.
Yeah, he's the guy from the.
Long K. Polly.
He's the guy. You keep on throwing out movies. The Birdcage. Yes. He's wearing the suits.
Stupid.
He's slipping on the floor, dude. He can't wear.
He was fantastic.
Dude, he was so great in the Birdcage. But
you know that scene when Pacino says "great ass,"
Dude.
that wasn't scripted like that. That's why his reaction is legit. He's like, because he just came out with that.
Listen, that's one of my the way he says that. It's so funny to me. I'm like, I wish I could cuss him out. I would use that line all the time, dude. But, so I say Heat. What's your first a great film by De Niro?
Because of his acting and his co-star,
Oh, do it.
Awakenings. That one kills me when he wants to go for a walk.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
He's
like a little kid
and when he starts losing it's that. What a movie that is.
when he catches the balls. That movie's crazy.
Based on a true story.
Yeah.
Unreal. Okay. I'm going for a newer film because he's still making good movies. De Niro still got it.
Yeah, he
and
does.
listen, we're gonna say something a little controversial here. De Niro's not the greatest crier. He's had some downright
He's had,
bad cries,
dude.
in this film.
Goodfellas, when he hears Tommy's dead, is the worst crying. I could stub my toe and do a better scene of crying. Like, that was so bad.
He's done a few movies where his crying's not good.
Yes.
And then in the Silver Linings Playbook,
One of the most genius scenes I've
and that
ever seen.
he plays the mentally off-hinged father. You think Bradley Cooper's crazy? I mean, his dad. You go, oh, I see
It's
where he got it
hereditary.
all. He inherited it all from his father. De Niro is only a supporting role, but he's fantastic. When his son comes home and he sits down with him and he's laying down, telling him he loves him, and he starts crying.
He wants him to watch the game with him.
It's the best crying De Niro's ever. And that
Oh,
movie
it was unreal. That scene.
That movie for the
That
acting,
movie's amazing.
and even the dance competition is great. The whole movie, the package, it won Academy Awards.
They put the dance on the parlay, dude. That was genius.
Dude, it was,
And they get like a 7. They're like, sorry, guys.
oh, dude, Jennifer Lawrence, she's bad to the bone in that.
She's
dude.
amazing.
So I'm putting that as a film that my kids are going to watch someday. That's 3. What do you got?
Oh, man. Man, he's got so many.
I know he does.
Because I'm such a fan of fighting, I think Raging Bull is up there.
He's so good.
Because
man.
there's scenes where he knows he messed up so bad and he's trying to get back in his brother's good graces, but he blew it.
He's trying to hug him and kiss him.
He's trying to kiss him.
De Niro,
saddest thing
you know
ever.
how much weight he gained for that film? He gained.
Yeah.
He really gained weight. It wasn't prosthetic. He gained
Yeah.
weight and lost weight for a single movie. Dude, Raging Bull. I'm going Untouchables.
Oh,
His Capone is so good.
baseball bat scene is still the nastiest.
Dude, Untouchables is a great gangster flick. Very different than this one. It's more like polished, cleaner, but it still has that dread to it. Oh, I mean, you can do this one.
Taxi Driver.
Oh, dude.
Well, once again, that's a young Harvey Keitel a young Jodie Foster.
Dude, she's like 11 years old.
He's like, when he's getting his body in shape, and
He's
like
ripped out of his mind.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Act like he is working the overnight shift, and you're watching him unravel. And he becomes a hero on accident.
De Niro's early films was basically showing how a broken world breaks normal people. Those are a lot of his movies. Mean Streets, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull. This shows how this awful world creates these broken people. And those are great films. Great films. We just did 6. We didn't mention Goodfellas, which is on the list. This kid, like, even though this movie is rowdy beyond rowdy. Some days my kids are 18 years old. I'm going to say, you got to see a movie that messed your father up. And we'll watch this movie. De Niro, 2 times around, easy.
We just did 6?
We did 6 just like that.
Holy crap.
De Niro, we give you a double greatness.
Double stamp. Boom,
Boom. There you go. All right. Now, opening scene of this movie sets the tone for the movie. They're driving in the car.
Yep.
And you hear the thump, thump, thump. And they're looking back like, no.
You don't even know what's going on yet.
They're dropping you in that scene. It sets the tone for the whole movie because you're like, this is not something that should happen to any people in the world. And to them, they're like, no. They're like laughing about, like, you guys got to pull over and check. And they open the trunk. And I love the way it's lit, the red light. They open that trunk and starts stabbing this guy. And it freeze frames in that opening line. Ever since I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. And then you have that music, dude, and you're like,
you're in.
You can't, like, from that moment, you got a good hour where you can't turn it off. It moves you. Like, there's in the act 2.
I forgot about A Bronx Tale too, man.
I know.
For
days. A Boy's Life.
Oh, with Leo.
Yes, dude. I mean, for days, De Niro has opening scene. Then it goes from that scene to Henry Hill's a Kid, and Henry Hill's a Kid is really enjoyable.
I love that.
And you see him from a young age look across the street, and he sees the gangsters because his father works third shift, right?
Yep.
His dad grinds it out. He's got how many kids?
6.
Six
6 kids in that
little apartment in New York,
tiny.
And his brother's in a wheelchair.
Who the older version of the brother is an awesome actor,
right?
too.
Steakin, you see he's always mad about something. Life's hard, and looks across the street and he sees these guys in their suits.
So now the dad's Irish, the mom's Sicilian.
Yes.
Yep.
He sees their suits. He sees their money. He sees their big
Cadillacs.
He sees their big life, and he wants it. From a young age, that's his dream. That's him watching YouTube saying, I want to make video games, right? He sees that world, like, that's the world I want to be a part of. Working for the taxi, and he's just getting pulled into the hustles. They're running numbers, selling cigarettes. He just gets
blowing up cars.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
He just breaking windows.
Well, he's a minor, so they have him doing all this crazy stuff, and if he gets busted, it's just a slap on the wrist because he's a minor.
Straight up. And you see Henry Hill just getting pulled in and taught how to hustle. And not hustle like a side hustle like a job, but a straight up hustle. How to make money illegally. Mm-hmm. That opening sequence, there's one line that sequence, that section, where his dad, he's like, how was school? He goes, oh, it was good. Because he's skipping school like a mug, dude. Every day he's skipping school.
You've been there in months.
And just beating him. And it freeze frames.
Yep.
And in Lyota's voiceover, he just says, the way I see it, sometimes everybody's got to take a beating. And I'm like, that's good to know. Like, in my mind, I'm like, you just got to choose what I'm taking my beating for. And I used to think that was true. And it doesn't have to be. But I thought,
I know.
Like, I mean, you're going to get beat for something. Might as well do what we want. Might as well, like, fun.
We'll earn it.
Exactly. I used to get pulled over. I used to drive 100 miles an hour all the time coming from Chicago to Ciangi. They'd get me sometimes like, oh, you got me. Like, in my mind, I'm like, I mean, everyone takes a beating sometimes. And I was thinking to myself, the points are just stacking up on my license.
I know.
Like,
yeah, you almost got it taken away.
They sent me a letter. I was like, hey, Mom, what does this mean? She's like, psh.
And then you're like, everybody's got to take it.
Oh, dude. dude. But he had the belt out. He's beating on him, dude.
Yeah, and Mama's hanging on his arm.
She's trying to stop him, dude. Oh, man, that is a classic.
Yeah.
Like inner
Old school,
city
yeah.
poverty. Just dad beating the kid, mom crying, trying to stop him.
Remember when he comes home with the suit on? Mom, look at the shoes. You're like, oh.
Looks like a little gangster, but the opening sequence, I like. It's so watchable. Then it just fades, and he's an adult.
Yep.
It's him. De Niro's their mentor, and him and Tommy are running, doing stuff. And what are some sequences that you love in this movie?
I love the scene where he decides that he's gonna like try to date Karen now because she blew him up, and when he takes her out.
I love when it starts because it's Joe Pesci with this Jewish broad he wants to. He's like, I just want to meet her. And he goes, no. He goes, no, what? I didn't say nothing. I didn't ask nothing. And he's like, no. He's like, she just, if she had, her friend could come. He's like, I said no. He goes, man, I do something for you all the time, dude. Pesci is like
So
pushy.
yeah.
You ever been a wingman? You ever gone on a date as a wingman?
Yes.
It's the worst, dude.
It's the worst because you got the ugly one.
Dude, I was the wingman for one, dude, and we show up, and I kid you not, I've told you this story, dude. We show up for this college.
You look at her and you go, I used to F guys like you in prison.
Oh, you're terrible. Oh my gosh. We show up and we're pulling up to the girls' dorm.
Did you say keep going?
Get the gas, go.
How come there's 3 out here?
Dude, so we pull up, we park, we're walking, and there's 2 people chilling, and I see in the distance, silhouette, and it's 2 people, and there's 2 people, and I see this person. They take a piece of pizza, they double it, and go up over their head, and start shouting it down, and I'm looking, I'm like, it can't be. And that was my date. She had doubled the pizza over like a sandwich, and she was like, dar, dar, dar. Dude, I looked at my boy William, dude, my boy JR, I was looking at him, he goes, I'll take care of it later. He's like, I'll get you back. Like, I'll get you back later, dude. Like, thank you for coming. Dude, it was a heck of a
Wow.
It was a heck of a date, dude. I was the wingman for that one, dude.
And she's like, where are we gonna eat?
So I'm like, oh, there's been a steak. Did you say steak? Did you say steak? That's why Henry was like, I'm not going to be your wingman. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do this.
I love how Pesci's like, yeah, I don't understand. He said he kept talking about it. He said he likes
They
it.
go out, and he's the worst. He's a jerk of a
Trying
date.
to get the check.
If you're going to be the wingman, you got to be present. You got to
Show up. Be a good guy.
Be nice to the person.
You know in your head this is the first and last time you're going to go out.
Exactly.
Just don't be me and you.
Dude, Henry Hill is just, he looking at his watch, asking for the check.
Yeah.
The way he walks her to her door.
Oh, man.
Just he pushes her
Yeah.
and just leaves. And then the next one, he sets her up. What's awesome is she decides, I'm not going to be pushed her. I'm not going to be treated this way.
You're taking me to where he's at.
And she
In
blows him
front
up.
of all the boys, dude.
And he loves it.
And he is turned on.
He loves it. She's yelling at him.
He's like, she looks so cute out there in front of that cab stand, just yelling.
And all his boys are like, oh!
That's so funny. Then he gets her, though. He starts.
Yeah, he goes, I mean, and the way he
weren't
turns it on
having
her.
fun? Yeah, and she starts smiling.
Dude, he's like, I thought you didn't have fun. I thought you didn't want to be there. You weren't talking. Dude, he makes it seem like he's the victim.
Yeah.
And Henry Hill is not a good person.
No shit.
He's good.
You remember the end? Like, dude.
He's so good at turning things on her. He makes her the bad guy when she's not the bad guy.
Oh, like when she flushed all them drugs when the cops are raiding the house. How about thanks, Karen?
Karen! What'd you do?
You need to speak to the manager.
Dude, she's like, I know you're cheating on me. He's like, you must have been the head. Like, he's
paying for an apartment for a
he's
girl.
got a girlfriend. He was like, Saturday was for the wives, Friday was for the girlfriends.
And they're out. He's taking the girlfriend out, and all the guys all have mistresses.
And he's got her a place, got her a nice place. Comes and sees her, stays a night there sometimes. He's brutal, but he makes her feel like she's crazy for questioning him. And then wakes up one day and she has a gun in his face.
That scene's crazy.
And man, does he sweet talk her. He's got a gun in his face like, honey, I love you. I love you so
You're the
much.
only one.
Only one. And when the gun...
I'll tell you what, though. How about some acting and that?
Wow.
Grabbing her hair.
Dude.
Put the gun in her face.
He's like, I gotta be out there and I come home to this by you. Dude, he's like, how do you like it? And when he walks away
I'm
from...
sorry.
I'm like, well, how did he get her to say she's sorry? Like,
She's apologizing.
This guy is cheating on her, treating her like garbage, and she's saying sorry to him. He is a terrible guy. And as you get to know him, like, if you read the book he wrote, and if you hear, he's been on Howard Stern, out of witness protection, walking around. He's not a good person. And the way this story resolves, hold on, let me see if there's any other sections I want to talk about. But yeah, you're right. Him and her, we'll get to some of that.
You know, they bring a table, put them right in the front.
That-
People are buying them champagne.
The scene.
Sending champagne to
One
the
of the
table.
classic scenes of all time is the Steadicam shop
Coming
through
through
the
the basement.
Copacabana.
Copacabana, yep.
Because that's a guy with a little rig on his chest, and he follows them from the car across the street to the line down.
That's amazing.
That shot, because they have extras walking,
Yep.
kitchen, and the table coming in from that scene. It's got to be a 4-minute.
And she is like, what does this guy?
And he's just like, every time with you two, like every time.
Oh, he knows everybody. Everybody wants to say hi to him.
And of course,
Sending him drinks.
She is
smitten.
that. I mean, I'm out with a somebody, not a nobody, not some punk in a line.
Yep.
The guy I'm out with, we go to the front of the line. The guy I'm with is a somebody, and she there's red flags everywhere. What does she say? I love that Henry Hill, it's his voiceovers, and then she gets some voiceovers in the middle when she first meets him. You know, she's like,
I know there's women out there like my best friends that say the minute somebody gives you a gun to hide,
you call it off.
holy
But I gotta be
crap,
honest.
I was turned on. It's got guy's blood on his hand or her hand. That scene right there.
We'll get to that in the Raise Us Wrong. At the end of this story, so you see this guy, and he talks about
He climbs.
The Copacabana scene is like I wish I was a somebody. I was going to walk to a place and they'd make it because they bring the table.
They put him in the front.
They put a light lampstand.
The guy singing.
Yes,
Acknowledges him from the stage.
it's unreal. And they bring like a little the table. They have to create a table. They bring chairs out. Just
The light. Bing.
and you hear people are going, what? Why does he get in? And he's like, oh, just wait. He just makes them all wait still. Part of you is like, I wish I was like a somebody, not a schnook, but a somebody. And you see, but then at the end though, Henry Hill goes to prison for that Florida job they pull, and he's slinging drugs in prison to survive. When he comes out, he's like, man, drugs are a lot of money. Starts selling coke and using coke. He's strung out of his mind. That last 30 minutes of him driving around, it's so like. I don't like. I feel tense and antsy, and it's always showing you the clock because he's always. It's like a day you're behind. It's like a day if you're like behind schedule. You're like running like to every meeting. That's how he is all day long. He gets busted, and he realizes he has no moves, and he sells out all his boys. I love Paulie, dude.
He even tells him.
Gives him every chance.
I know guys that have been sent up for 20 years for shaking somebody's hand that's out there messing with drugs. He's telling them, do not be around me.
And Henry Hill's just like, I mean, what are you talking about? He goes, don't treat me like I'm a jerk.
He slaps him.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you did what you had to do in prison. It stops now.
Yep.
He's like coming to him man to man, like this, you're out now. Let's do this right. But that stinking.
Even Karen's doing drugs.
And dude, I love the cop. Don't give me the babe in the woods routine. She's like, I mean, I didn't know anything. He goes, we've heard the messages.
Yep.
You knew what was going on. Don't give me this babe in the woods routine. I love that. I don't know what that means. I guess it means like don't pretend you're innocent, you know? Because she's not. She loved the life, loved the money.
I'm going shopping.
How much
money?
Dude, who measures money like that?
That's crazy.
I need $2 or $3 grand. I need this much money.
Hundies.
Dude, like, okay.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
He rats him out.
Oof.
And he points at his friends.
He's got to be in there and point and like
tell what they've done. And the movie takes this incredible moment where the voiceover becomes him. He looks at the camera on the stand.
Yeah.
Talking. And you're like, it's a great moment. I'm like, what writing? What just, I mean, because like we've caught up to the story. And he just walks, and as he's walking, the lawyers are talking, he's walking through the courtroom telling the story. Then it goes to him in the suburbs. And I've seen that. That's Waterford. It's Clarkson. It's it's like what do you call those things when they build like
it's my blue heaven, dude.
What is it called when you build
cookie cutter?
A subdivision. It's a subdivision where they just do all the houses at the same time.
And they all look the same.
Yep. And he's in one of them, and he's out there. He's like, I ordered spaghetti with marinara sauce. They gave me egg noodles and ketchup. He's like, I'm just a schnook. And the movie ends. Well, the movie ends with Pesci shooting the gun at the screen, which is one of the first movies ever made in the history of a film. One of the first movies ever made is called the Armed Train Robbery. And there's a scene, it's like a 6-minute movie, black and white. At the end, there's a guy with a gun just shoots at the screen, and people freaked out when they saw it. Because they've never seen on a screen a guy point a gun at the camera and pull, like, holy cow. So he all he do is he paint.
Alec Baldwin's seen that.
You're so stupid, dude. And he said he didn't do it. But
he thought it was the train robbery.
Hey, great train robbery. That's that, dude. One thing scene about this film also, I forgot. So Henry Hill rats everybody out. And he's been on Stern talking about what he's done. Tell the story about Spider from Henry Hill.
Okay.
From Howard Stern.
So he's on, and they get a phone call from a woman. And Howard puts her on, and it's Spider's sister.
That's unbelievable.
And she goes at him because they never found the body. And she wants to know where the body's at. And he is so upset. He's being a smart ass. And Howard's like, look, dude, you gotta sympathize with her. And she's telling him, you made him look like he was dumb.
They did.
You made him look like he was just some punk. And then she's like, in reality, you were the punk. And she's like, we want to know where his body's at. And so he said, okay, listen. When we get out the air, I'm going to tell you where the body's at. Like it was that this movie, obviously it was made and it was glorified for the big screen. There's a lot of real stuff from this movie.
The Todd father went to school with these guys' kids, with Henry Hill's, with Conway's kids.
Really?
Yes, like he went to school in Chicago with these kids, the Goodfellas. That's all Chicago stuff, dude. It's crazy.
Dude, I'll tell you what, though, when Henry Hill comes on sometimes, well, he's dead now, but he used to come on. He would get so drunk, and he would like just talk about how he just doesn't want to live because all the things that he's done, and he's got these voices in his head, and that's why he didn't care that he was not in witness protection. He's out, just walking around like he didn't care, and people would call and just go after him, and like. You're wondering, like, is this guy in the mob? Like, and they're saying, we know where you're at. I hope we know where you're at.
In this film, Scorsese, his use of music's great. All the old Frank Sinatra music, that old 40s, 50s stuff works perfect in this film. But I think the best musical touch in this film, Scorsese might be number 2. It's tough because Tarantino's the music guy. But close behind him is
Wes Anderson.
I think he's 3 for me.
He's amazing.
Who did Baby Driver? What's that guy's name?
Oh.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz.
He did Baby Driver?
Yes.
The music of that is
dude, I'm saying that music is, the way it's part of the film is unreal. I'm saying Scorsese is in that fight, though, for best musical cues.
Do you remember Life Aquatic in the submarine?
Listen.
The music is amazing. The whole movie is French David Bowie.
It's incredible.
Holy crap.
I'm saying personally, I might have West 3 and
Who did Dumb and Dumber?
it's just, I don't know.
Farrelly Brothers?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe they're not, but that movie, the soundtrack's crazy.
West, but I'm saying like West, and then you have Scorsese. His use of music, Departed, the music that is credible. The way
Rags to Riches.
oh my
Great
god,
song.
dude, great. But I think the Clapton, the Layla,
When everybody's dying.
the
Finding everybody-
Layla epilogue, using that for the death scene, incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That guitar has always been a great. Like a lot of radios used to cut that off. Nowadays they keep it on, but back in the day, because it was too long, they just cut the end off. I'm like,
We got
you
Radiohead.
can't cut the end of that song off. That like, when it goes into that, it's just Clapton being
is
Clapton.
there anything worse than being excited and it just fades out, or some asshole starts talking over it?
Sunday.
Man, I don't care about
Monster trucks, dude.
man.
That Clapton, though, that scene with just the bodies coming out, just the people they like Conway killed to keep all that money.
Mm-hmm.
They even killed the wig guy, dude. What's his name?
Maury was annoying.
Maury.
Oh, he was annoying.
Maury was. He didn't know how not to be Maury.
Yeah.
He did not belong with those animals. He was a minnow swimming with sharks,
Yep.
and he got eaten up. What was he thinking? You're not these guys.
Don't break Jimmy Conway's balls about money. How did they kill? Oh yeah, the ice pick.
Okay. How can you
I love how on My Blue Heaven how Steve Martin explains why you use a 22.
Oh, dude, My Blue Heaven truly is.
It's part 2 Goodfellas.
It really is.
It's the sequel of Goodfellas. It's like, what do we do now?
We're all in the detection program, and so anyways,
That's not all they give me.
I gotta never see my mom again. Dude, Steve Martin.
Genius. It's
Okay.
genius.
How can you support the show? You know, patreon.com
Show me the money, Lebowski.
Red Rum Theatre. You can give $1 a month to make the podcast go. You guys have made us do 2 episodes a month. You're getting 3 in December because we were late a few days for November's last episode. Lean on Me came out a little late, but we're putting out content for you guys. We're doing old and new movie every month. This month, December, we got sneaking Matrix Revolution.
It won?
It won, like killed everybody.
Really?
It
It
crushed
beat Welcome Home?
Crushed everything. So we're doing Christmas Eve. We'll go see it. It's Christmas Eve night, dude.
Hell yes.
Boom!
I'm eating so much popcorn, dude. I have butter coming out my ears.
I'm gonna take a pizza into that joint, dude.
And have it upward. Be losing slices on the way. I'm gonna drain my pickle. Pickle pouch, dude.
God, we'll do it all. So if you want to give $1 a month to make the podcast go, do it, man. Help us get to our next stretch goal. Or you can go to redrum.threadless.com to see our t-shirt store. You can buy,
Get a dang Gina coffee mug.
dude. You can get toffee mugs, towels, stinking hats.
Towels?
You put our logos wherever you want.
You can get a towel?
A strip towel, a beach towel.
Dang, Gina.
Straight up, dude. Or you can go on our website and just give a one-time PayPal a gift. So you do that too if you want. Now, raise us right. One thing this movie taught me, this is kind of on the edge of right and wrong.
Yeah,
But I thought this was gospel. I thought this was like this. I thought this was gospel truth as a kid. This was like my Bible. When Henry Hill gets arrested for the cigarettes, and
he's in trouble.
he comes out and everyone's pumped for him. Conway puts a couple $100 in his stinking shirt. He's like, they'd be mad. He goes,
you busted your cherry.
they'd be mad. He goes, the 2 most important rules: never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut. That simple lesson, I never went against that. I mean, if we're ever in the bus and they're like, someone did something wrong, like, if we don't tell who did this, we're all staying on this bus. I'm like, okay, so I guess we're all staying on this bus.
I guess I'll make myself comfortable.
Like, in my mind, you never crack. Dude, one time at college, man, we were out, we snuck into this construction site and climbed a construction crane, like 32 stories up in the air, which was unreal.
You're crazy.
Listen, when you're up there past the buildings and the wind's ripping through
Yeah.
you, I was drenched in sweat, not from physical exertion,
Nervous.
from the fear and the...
You idiots.
Listen, the next week a guy died working on that building. A guy fell off a crane and died. So they come into our floor because they said, we know some kids from Moody, because we almost got caught. by some of the cleaning crew. So we know some kids from the school has broken in and done that. And so it's all of our floor. 6 of us did it. And look at the RA's looking at all of us. Not the RA. RA is the floor guard. RS is over all the RAs. So this guy's like the man. He's in there looking. He goes, he's looking for any of us to stink and crack. You know what I'm saying? He's like, if any of you guys did this or know who did this, you got to tell me and protect your brothers and keep them safe. We and everyone in there, stone-faced killers, dude. And no one cracked.
What were they gonna do?
Probably would have got like suspended or something. I don't know. Got fined, something. Got in trouble. Probably. I don't know what would happen to us. But the thought of ratting out a friend never occurred to me. It never was on the table. Why? Because of this movie. Because I'm like, you can never rat on your friends.
Keep your mouth shut.
Or keep your mouth shut. You never give someone up to save your own butt. It just was what I had learned. You ever been put in that situation before? You ever been put in a spot where you like been asked to like rat on somebody?
I mean, none that I can think of. Like,
I got put in a situation real hard when I filled out of college. Right before I left school, there's a guy in my dorm, right in my floor. I was a number 3rd pranker in the college. He was number 1. And we all sat down, him and I, one day, and he came up with this great plan to steal all the chairs out of the lunchroom. And these chairs were like heavy wooden chairs. So they probably all weighed, think of a heavy wooden chair. They probably weighed 5 pounds apiece. And there's probably, 700 of them?
yeah.
And so we sat down and mapped out how do we get them all out. And I was on probation at the time. So listen, I can't be on campus when this happens because they're going to kill me. They're going to call me in and I'm a dead man. So I make sure when I'm walking off campus, there's 22 guys involved. They need 22 guys to get all those out. It took them 3 hours.
Where'd they put them?
We moved them across campus to the 3rd floor of the chapel. We had to have guys, because some of us had keys to the buildings, but if you use your keys that way, that's illegal. So we had to have guys like hide in bathrooms and hide in closets and open doors from the inside, because that way we didn't use our keys in illegal ways. But I was a key master and
A gatekeeper.
and I was already on probation. So I was leaving campus and I see some of the guys holding doors open and chairs are already moving. And I look over, I'm just like, my boys are doing it.
Yeah, you're like stinking son of a woman.
Dude, I got off, I get away. I got away. I remember going downstairs the next day. It was, we did this on the first night of finals week. So everyone comes in on a finals week. Everyone goes to breakfast next because everyone's up early, studying, ready for their finals. Everyone comes to breakfast, and there's no chairs. So guys are sitting down trying to eat, like it's come to one seat. Like,
you guys,
dude, the guys are on their knees eating off the table. Yes, we are. And
Jeez.
Dude, professors are in there, and people are fearing. People are like, they don't know where to take. They can't find the chairs, and there's no chapel in finals week, so no one knows where they are. Like, where did all the chairs go? And so I'm there, and I'm like, just like, this is incredible. This is incredible. I was once with Angie, and we went to. This is years after I graduated. We went to I was at a conference. It was a Moody alumni free lunch. So I went to it. For anyone that's been to Moody, went to school there to go to a free lunch. I went to it. And they had to share a memory. Went around, and 2 people shared their memory of the school was, man, one time I went to finals week, and there was no chairs. It was wild. And Angie just holding my hand. She squeezed it like, oh, my gosh. And I'm like, shh, don't say a word, babe. So 2 of my pranks made it in that circle. It was awesome.
Jeez.
But I failed out of school that semester. So finals week happens. I'm walking out with my cart in shame, failing out of college. I hear my name, Mr. Alanese. I turn, it's the dean of students. I go into his office, and the dean, straight up, son of a woman style, he's like, listen, do you know anything about 600 chairs that were taken from the lunchroom? And I was like, you mean 642 chairs taken out of the lunchroom? Because I'm a stupid person. He's like, yeah, what do you know? And I'm like, I know everything. He's like, give me a name. I'm like, I'm not giving you nothing, man. And he just goes, I understand you failed out of college this semester. I'm like, that's right. He's like, where are you going? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, you might want to come back here someday. And if you ever want to come back to this school, you got to go through me. The application will come upon my desk. And if you don't play ball now, you're never coming back to this school. And I was like, c'est la vie, man. And I got up and walked out. Because in my mind,
you were never coming back.
Well, that was true. I might have to come back. Also, I'm like, you never rat on your friends. You never rat on your friends. And that one cost me because I wanted to go back, and the dean did call my house, dude. Dude, it was brutal. It was brutal. I applied. He won't remember that. I thought he was talking smack. And one day, I'm at mom's in the basement. The phone rings. I'm come up in my chonies like, ugh. It's like, Mr. Alanis? Is Mr. Alanis? Like, yeah, this is him. It's like, this is Dean Aarons. I'm like, oh, no.
It's Dean Martin.
He remembered. But that line has got me in trouble, dude. Like, that's not always the right answer either. Like, what if...
Yeah, there's a lot of scenarios where we could...
Right, that you can hurt your friends, hurt yourself. I tell my kids, listen, if someone ever like...
This is our raised us right?
Dude, I'm saying it's not great because that's not a great rule to live by. But I thought it was gospel.
Yeah.
But then you have the real thing that this movie gave us, and that is a glorification of violence. That violence is the answer to every problem. Mm-hmm. That's in you.
Yeah.
If someone goes bad on you, just punch him in the nose. That's like, in my mind, that's a good solution for any problem. In this, I was watching this, and I was laughing when Henry Hill drops off Karen, and the guy across the street, that yuppie, had tried to sneak and touch her. She said no. He got rough with her, and he threw her out of the car, left on the side of the road. He takes her in, walks across the street.
His face when he's walking across the street, you're like...
The one guy comes out, the guy who had hurt her, comes out. He's got two of his boys there. They're looking around their hot rod. The thing is, these guys...
They don't know this life.
That's the thing.
They know the money life.
They've never, ever been to the other side of the tracks. Mm-hmm. They don't know what it's like to be beaten by their father. They don't know what it's like to take a beating. They think this guy's a normal person.
Yep.
That's a monster coming across the street.
With a gun.
And there's no trash talking.
No.
There's no chest bumping. This guy...
He's not flexing on you. He's coming to do... He knows what he's doing.
Right. He's coming...
It's premeditated.
There's no flex. You're right. It is just, I'm coming here to hurt you.
Yep.
Dude, and he...
That's crazy.
Puts the hurt... And what's awful, I'm watching this, and I'm laughing.
Me and Odell used to count. I think he hits him in the nose 11 times with that gun. Like, that's crazy.
I'm laughing
His
because...
boys...
They don't know what to do.
Crap.
Because they've never seen violence that, like, just unadulterated, true violence. They've never seen it. And they don't know how to react to it. And I'm laughing at their innocence.
No, please, don't shoot. Yeah, they're horrified. They're like...
And I'm like, I shouldn't be laughing.
They don't even attempt to go to their boys' aid.
No!
There's 3, and there's 1. And it's like...
Not everyone has that in them. Not everyone has that, like in the fight or flight like thing. Some people have the flight, the run. Some people have the other thing, that instant just the clenching of the fist.
Some people go towards it. Some people.
This movie, I thought a lot of that was funny. I thought it was cool. I thought it was like, that's what you do. In my mind, that's what you do. Like, if someone hurts a girl you care about, you bust their head in. That's what you do. And that's what you do in a civilized world. You go to prison. You get arrested.
It's the whole Great Gatsby thing. Yeah, he might be rich, but he didn't come from that.
Right.
He's a different person.
He's a different person.
And they saw it. And he's like, shit.
And you hated that scene, dude, because they wouldn't accept him.
No, I love that scene. Because I knew exactly what happened, and you didn't know what happened.
I didn't. It was incredible. You saw through all that. I'm like, what? This movie, like, even now as a father, as a pastor, there's all these like lists of what pastor must be, and one of them is not a fighter, not a brawler. That's the hardest one for me. Because they're like, if someone grabs me, my first instinct is to go for their throat. And this movie helped put that stuff there. Mm-hmm. Like, that violence is the initial answer. But you see what violence gets all these guys. Pesci, crazy man.
He gets shot in the back of the head so that his mom couldn't have an open casket.
That's where violence brought him.
Yeah.
And the thing people forget about this movie is the first hour seems so awesome. None of these guys come out okay. Most of them are dead. Conway And Paulie dies in prison. Like he said, I don't want to be an old man who dies in prison. He says that's his fate. Dies in prison. Henry Hill, the ghosts of those he killed haunted him his whole life. Mm-hmm. And still people watch this movie and go, that's awesome, I want to be that. It's like you only watch the first half of the movie. Don't you watch the second half?
Well, same thing with Scarface.
Same thing.
I want to be Tony Montana.
What? You want to kill your sister and your best friend?
Yeah.
You want to break your sister, kill your best friend, and die alone.
Your life away. Oof.
People bought that globe. People bought his gun.
I got a buddy who just got that tattooed.
What tattooed?
The globe.
Come
what
on.
Does it say?
The world is yours?
Something, yeah. It's his whole forearm.
Wolf of Wall Street. Did you watch how that movie ends? Dude, the scene when Henry Hill and Karen are fighting and his little daughter's watching that. That.
Watch Blow. He spends his life in prison waiting for his daughter to come see him, who never comes. That glorifying this stuff, people see what they want to see.
That's the thing. Scorsese's telling a balanced story.
Yeah.
But when I was young, all I saw was wow, wouldn't it be awesome to be these rich guys? To have money, tipping everyone $20. He's like, if I need money, just rob something else. I'd rob more stuff. And I'm like, wow, that must be awesome. I mean, dude, you're a fighter like nobody's business. You've had fights in bars that are legendary, Tony. Legendary.
I know.
Like that one road rage fight you had. What even started that? Just road rage?
We just passed them and beeped at them.
And that made them decide to fight you guys.
Then they followed us home.
Those poor guys.
Yeah.
Those guys are literally the buddies in the driveway. And they didn't know they're rolling up. It was you and Odell, right?
No, it was me and Jason McDonald.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was brutal. Those, like, literally, I was like, do we know them? Like, are they messing with us? And he goes, no. And I'm like, you go driver's side, I go passenger side? He goes, yep.
Dude, they had no idea.
It was bad.
They had chosen, and even the guys at Shark Club, they were right around Waterford, Clarkston.
No, it was Mr. B's.
Oh, Mr. B's, that's right. They thought they were walking around causing trouble because we were invincible, and they chose the one crew in town.
A van with the Sanzig brothers in it.
They chose the one crew in town that could stick in, what is it? Eat thunder and crap lightning. That's what they chose. That one crew.
Yep.
They chose you. They chose the Henry Hills of Waterford to mess with you. Guys, like, okay. What?
Odell was driving the van that night.
Dude, was that my van?
You
jerks, dude. You borrow the van? Sure, dude.
And we're on the way breaking 40s outside the window. We were crazy.
I stopped that van once and a 40 rolled out and the kid's like, what's this, Pastor Nesta? I'm like,
it's Tony's.
I'm like, it's a root beer bottle. Get it here.
Was it Logan Curry?
That might have been Logan Curry that found it, dude. You stupid dude, man. But
I thank this movie for that. For all them fights.
Dude. When I came home after Mom went through all that stuff with the courts, I came home and was with her when that stuff all happened. I went back to college. And I got mugged that one time. Those guys tried to mug me. And I remember when they came out of the shadows to mug me, I was like so happy. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm so emotionally
unstable.
And you want to take something from me. And I was like, this is so great. And that's not a sane thought to have. It's like, oh, this is a gift from the Lord. And that's not a gift from the Lord.
Yeah, that was an opportunity that you failed.
Like, I'm going to beat these guys.
Man.
And I won't get arrested because they're the bad guys.
Yep.
Like, I can unleash my anger upon you, and I'm still the good guy. This is great, dude. And that's not...
Yeah, and then you got in trouble.
Oh, I did. And I'm glad they saw through. I'm like, well, they tried to rob me. They're like...
Yeah, you enjoyed it a little too much.
Yeah, they're like, there's something wrong with you. And I'm like, yeah, there's something wrong with me.
I'm a beast.
This movie, dude.
It's a great movie.
But, dude, even watching it gets me in I get in a mood after watching it. Like, I'm just kind of walking around, looking around people a different way. It's just that well made. It's so well done. It's so good. He's a good fella. But the thing is, this movie is the anti-Godfather. Godfather's all like loyalty and honor and rules. Mm-hmm. There's none of that here.
No, it's every man for himself.
It's just, there's no one likable. Like, no one in this world is like a sweet person. I mean, Spider, but even he's portrayed as an idiot. Henry Hill's not a hero. Tommy ain't no hero. Jimmy Conway, did you think he was going to kill his wife?
Karen, yeah.
I think so too.
Oh, for sure. He knew something was coming down. Something was going down because he was questioning Leota about what he said to the cops, questioning Karen about
how's he doing.
Yeah.
And when they meet and he says, "Go do this hit for me," Henry Hill goes, "I knew I'd never come back to Florida alive."
He never asked somebody to kill for him or kill him. He's never asked him to kill anybody before.
I've heard that Henry Hill always makes himself out to be like, Tommy's a killer, Conway's the stinking thief. And he's just kind of along for the ride, but I've heard he actually killed people too. Like He just, in his stories, he always makes sure.
I think he killed 3. Because, he talks about that.
Does he?
Yeah, and like he's just haunted. When he starts getting drunk.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's bad. I sent Jesus that interview, and he was just like, that is insane. Because he's seen a lot of stuff, and people were calling up, like, oof.
Well, listen. You can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or Amazon Podcasts. You like the show, you can leave a review.
Do we have any way of tracking how many people listen to it?
Yeah.
Show me that stuff.
Okay. You can follow the show on Facebook at facebook.com/TheTray. Talk about the movies we're loving currently. I'm doing currently my Christmas movie marathon on there. Tony, add some of the movies you're watching. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I just watched?
What?
8-Bit Christmas.
Was it good?
It was awesome.
I got to watch it.
It was awesome.
I got to watch it.
Dude, your boy Steve Zahn's in it, dude.
So that's what we have coming up for you guys this month in December. We have Matrix Resurrections podcast. We have our end of the year podcast, and we have another movie podcast for you. We got so much coming out.
What's the next movie?
Oh, we're doing Goodfellas. Goodfellas is December. It's Goodfellas, Resurrections, and
this is the December movie.
This is 3 movies in 1 month. I mean, yeah,
it's a lot.
I mean, yeah, you can't ask for anything more. Anything else?
It's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. Anything else you want to add to this movie before we sign off? So much in this movie.
Yeah.
Dude, Pesci's mom is Scorsese's real mother.
Aww.
How sweet is that?
Yeah, one dog's looking one way, the other dog's looking the other.
Dude.
And he's just like, what do you want from me?
Greatest art critic of all time.
It's amazing. He's like,
looks like someone he knows.
Looks familiar.
What? He's like, oh my gosh, take him with the beard. They're laughing, dude. They kill the guy. They're laughing.
I need a knife for the hoof.
For his paw. What do you call that thing? Oh, it's hoof.
It's a paw. It's a hoof.
Dude, they're animals, dude. They're animals. Tommy's an animal.
His mom's such a sweetheart.
She's such a sweetheart. Why can't you settle down? Settle down every night, Mom. Wake up and I'm free. Dude,
You're the only woman for me.
Dude, stupid crap, dude.
He's funny. That is funny.
Oh man.
But okay. Me and you had this conversation about how Tommy is just a big kid.
He's a child.
When they kill
Billy Batts,
he's literally upset that he got blood on Ray Little's
and
floor.
the way he's like a little kid after a tantrum, who's like feels bad.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I got blood on your floor.
I didn't mean to get blood on your floor.
He's like, literally
what?
And if you know violent people, there are infants.
Yes,
they've never learned
because they throw a tantrum like a kid,
and afterwards they're emotionally completely off kilter.
Yep.
Like I've seen my son have that where he goes from like angry to crying.
I've seen it.
And you see it, kids where a kid goes crying to angry, and this like
because they don't know how to manage.
Right, it's just emotions everywhere, and
he's never learned to manage.
He's still a child, and that's the thing. I don't want to be a child forever. You got. Oh, you've done it, breaking your hand on something that's boxer break. We've all done that, and how stupid are we punching walls? Just have no idea how to deal with our
kids.
Just big old kids, man, trying to grow up someday. Like Tommy is you're right, he's a big kid, dude. That scene, you see it. Like he's like almost crying.
And Leota's like confused.
He doesn't know what to say. Like what? What are you talking about? You just dude, in there killing Billy Batts, De Niro stomps are the nastiest. Like
it's crazy.
It's why if you fall down, you got to curl up because if someone's going to stomp you, you don't want it to be your face, dude. I mean, you're going to get beat up bad, but you want to keep that face at least looking decent.
Plus them shoes, if they kick you straight.
Oh, my. That point. Ooh, alligators in the teeth.
Stingray boots. You pay $2,000 for the fish boots. It's another no price.
It's a no price for you. $2,000 for the fish boots. That's a good one, dude. Oh, that's a great one, dude. So 2 no prizes. Okay. So everybody, as always, I'm Ernesto.
I'm Antonio.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Red Room Theater.